Namaste, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to talk about intentional living at work. And we want to create a meaningful mission and our momentum. What is all this going to be like for 2026? So think about just a simple framework. Of course, my suggestion is going to be that you get up every single morning and you dial this in. You set your day up for success and see what this is really like. I want you to lead a life and work and build a life that you're truly proud to live each and every day. You're going to have introspective questions, of course, a lot of that through this, but what do you want people to feel after interacting with you at work? What is this like? What is the feeling that you want? Do you want them to feel proud, or do you want them to feel accomplished, or do you want them to feel connected, loved, or accepted? What is the feeling that you want people to really engage in after interacting with you? We can talk about the emotional intelligence aspect of it. So emotional intelligence is how do people feel during the interaction, the conversation? But to me, it's also how do you feel after the interaction and conversation? If you walk away from that, do you feel really engaged? Do you feel really purposeful? Do you feel like you made an impact in somebody's life? What do I want my work to stand for this year? In 2026, really, if you could design this year, what would it be like? If you could label this year as a movie, what would be the movie of 2026? What's one thing I want to be known for professionally? Maybe a title, an identity, a label. When they think of Carrie Stewart, what do you think of? What is that one thing that you want people to think of? Hopefully for every single person, it's authenticity. That when they see Carrie, that he's just his authentic self. He has nothing to hide. He's not trying to prove anything. He's not wearing a mask. The busy trap. So busyness is not productivity. Busyness often means reactive living, constant urgency, misaligned priorities, burnout disguised as success. So many people will come to me and they're like, I've just been busy. And I realize they're not productive. And I heard a podcast today with my buddy Ashish. It's ironic because I was planning on doing this anyway, but his term is busyness is laziness. And really, you think about that, we're not being productive. It's not really the opportunity to be as productive as you can be in this opportunity. When you're busy, you feel tired. You feel lethargic. You feel like you're drained. But when you're productive, you feel accomplished. You feel energized. You feel excited about what you're doing. Of course, if it's draining some energy, you're using some energy, you're going to feel tired. But it's a completely, totally different mindset and a completely, totally different feeling from busyness to productive. So think about it in your life, in your journey, in your path. Are you being productive? Or are you just being busy? Because productive is going to give you the results you really need to have. It's also going to give you the opportunity to delegate and talk about a lot more of it today, but we're going to talk about healthy boundaries and all these other aspects. So the reflection of this is, what in my work feels reactive? So what is it you're just like reactive and you're putting out fires and you're not truly pausing and responding? You don't feel like you're being productive. You just feel like you're having to put this fire out, and you're going around all day putting fires out, and nothing is really productive in your life. And where do I feel scattered or drained? Now we have these relationships. We have these people that come into our life that we feel exhausted. Like as soon as they walk in to the space or the office, or we see them come in, we're like, oh my God, not so-and-so again. You already sighed out. You've already put up a wall, a defense mechanism. When they walk away from you, you feel drained. They've taken all your energy, all your effort out of your life. And what would aligned work feel like? Like really congruent, that there's somebody in your life that it goes so well. Everything is so aligned and so congruent that it just seems seamless. That you two work together, or three or four, whatever it is on your team, you really coordinate, you really collaborate, and you really resonate with one another. The real cost of misalignment, it costs you your energy. You have to redo things. It loses your clarity because now you're having to drift and refocus and like, okay, realign even if it's a camera, realign this. How can I get this aperture in, right? I want to get laser focus on this topic. It costs you your relationships because once again, it's not congruency. And so sometimes you become frustrated, you become angry, you become disturbed, you become chaotic, you can become even aggressive. And because of this misalignment, you're behaving and responding in a method that is not really productive. And then it loses, of course, your creativity because once again, you're busy and you don't have time to stop and pause and be creative. Causes your health. So of course, you already know this, your sleep, it's going to go down, right? You're going to gain some weight. You're going to be more tired, more lethargic. Blood pressure could go up. Stress is going to go up. All these things are going to go up because you're misaligned. And of course, your peace of mind. You're not going to be to the point in your life where, man, I just feel at peace. I just feel calm and I feel relaxed. So where's your energy leaking the most? Who's taking your energy? Could be you. Could be because of just lack of productivity, just because you're busy. Could be you that's leaking your energy the most. And so what drains you the fastest? What opportunity in the day is going to be able for you to pause and sit back and be like, okay, I need to readdress this. Maybe I need to delegate these tasks off, or I need to really have this conversation with this individual. And what relationship really needs the repair? Where do you need to redirect yourself back to your authentic self to this person and really go back into living intentionally with that person? The producer mindset. So you only have two ways. You can either be the victim, you have no time, or you can be the producer and you decide what matters. That's it, one or the other. It's your choice. Victimhood is we're always blaming our situation, our scenario on somebody else all the time. The producers are the ones that have the agency and they take accountability for who they are and where they're going in life. The producer thinking creates ownership, responsibility, and intentional action. So where am I blaming circumstances? Where can I take the ownership? And what does being a producer look like for me? Really dive into this and really allow yourself to become more accountable, have more agency, more ownership of your decisions, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, all the things in your life. You are going to produce the results. So think about 2026 as a movie. What is the title of your movie in 2026? What is the script? What is the score? And what are the scenes? You become the primary actor in this. You're no longer an extra. You are the primary person in 2026. So the definition of intention. Intention is direction. It's not motivation. It's not goals. And it's definitely not busyness. It's choosing who you're becoming and how you want to serve, what you will no longer tolerate. When I think about intention, I use this word love because love means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But also, I don't know what love feels like for you. And maybe you don't even know what love feels like. It's been so long and it's been so foreign since you felt love. But let's just say today, our intention is love. I get up in the morning, I take some few deep breaths, I'm laying in bed, I'm relaxing. I inhale for 8, I pause for 4, I exhale for 8, pause for 4, and I just continue this cycle. Then I engage in a general observation as I check in with myself and say, today I just need love. I'm feeling neglected, I'm feeling abandoned, I feel like I need some love. So what does love really feel like for me? What does it feel like to love and be loved? And then what does love sound like? The tone of my voice, what I say to myself, because we all know what love isn't. We know what love does not sound like. So it's got to be the opposite of that. So how can I talk to myself in a loving, kind manner? And then what does love look like? How can I express love to myself? Not body shaming, not neglecting, not avoiding, but really loving myself. So intentional living is what does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it look like for you? But then also with every interaction, every conversation you have with our community. So if you want to have courage, what does courage feel like for you? What does it sound like and what does it look like? And then how can you provide that same intention with every interaction and every conversation you have with our community? How can you provide them love, our courage, our kindness, our gentleness, our hope, or to become fearless or empowered? Living intentionally is diving into every interaction, every conversation. What does it feel like, sound like, and look like for you and for our community? That's truly the overall encompassing concept of living intention. So what do you want your work to mean? Like, why do you even show up there? Is it for a paycheck? Well, that's going to be meaningless, right? It's to buy these things. That's probably going to be meaningless. But how do you really want people to feel? So what do you want your work to mean? And what do you want to contribute? How do you want to make this impact? And then what do I want to eliminate? Think about what it is in your life that you want to let go. And because when you begin to live intentionally, that's where your focus goes, on that intention. If it doesn't serve your mission statement, you don't do it. If it doesn't serve your intention, you don't do it. The 3M framework: meaning, mission, and momentum. Meaning, why it matters. Mission, how you serve. And momentum, repeated alignment with an action. This is how you build purpose, productivity. So you've got to go back to the 3 M's. Why it matters. Why are you doing what you're doing? Your mission, how do you serve? Your momentum, repeated alignment with your action. You want to be aligned, and all of this is going to be congruent in your life. So what gives your work true meaning? How is it that impact, the legacy, the tradition that you're going to leave? And people, when they think of you and they think of the work that you've accomplished and what you've done, what does that really feel like for you? And if it mattered deeply, how would you show up? Like if this was your last day to make an impact in somebody's life, what would it really be like for you today? And what do you want to create and build over time? What is your legacy? What is your tradition? So what matters the most? Your values, which I say don't change. Your core values of who you are, predominantly, they always stay the same. Those never change over time. Now, what matters the most in your relationships? Who matters the most in your relationship? Your contribution, your integrity, right? Are you going to be there? Are you going to show up for yourself? Are you going to have value in your work? Are you going to have value in what you're doing? Or your growth, right? And you see the tree that's going up and down, and of course, you've got to go into some darkness in order to get some light. We have to have that dichotomy of both. So what value will you not compromise? Your core value. No matter what, you're going to have the integrity, and no matter what, you're not going to sway from it. As we age, we learn more about our values. We learn more about what's in alignment with our values, and they come up to more in fruition of what it is and how meaningful they are. But I really do not believe your core values are going to change. So if you have integrity or you're ethical, you're going to find more alignment with that as you age. You're going to find more opportunity to have more integrity and have more value of who you are. What matters most in your work relationships? How you want them to feel. How productive do you want them to feel? Right? We're probably at a very, very low productivity, and possibly the same in your organization. That we're not as productive as we used to be. We're distracted more. We're not aligned. We're not focusing on our mission statement. We're not focusing on our vision. We're not focusing on being intentional. We have all these other obstacles and distractions, personally and professionally, that are causing us to not be productive in our life. So we've got to also get rid of these distractions. What are your top 3 values? If you could align yourself with that. Now, when you think about your mission, I really want you to think about how you want people to feel. How is it you want them to feel today? Your mission is really what is going on with you today. So between your intention of living today and how you want people to feel today, it's really going to direct you. This is it. This is your direction. This is your focus throughout the day. If it doesn't serve your mission, if it doesn't serve your intention, you're not doing it. Your mission isn't your job title, it's your impact. So mission statement formula. I help blank by blank so that. So here's an example. I help my team succeed by creating clarity so that we build trust and results. You want your team to feel trust. This is one of the number one traits and qualities that I hear in women, that they want a partner. They want somebody in their life that they can trust. They've felt defiled. They don't feel valued. And I want you to say, if you're still watching this right now, or this portion of the clip, my intention for this portion right here, this webinar, this workshop, this conversation, is I want you to feel valued. Because so many of you have not felt valued. I want you to realize, like, the tone of my voice, how it sounds, how I talk to you. I want you to understand that I value you, whoever you are. A current connection, maybe a future connection, whatever that is. But I've done a lot of work, a lot of energy over the last 12 years of a lot of information. I put it into this little short, presentation here. But through this conversation with me and you, I want you to feel valued. I want you to hear valued in the tone of my voice, and I want you to see the value in what I've done with this presentation. Now, there's a lot of times I want you to feel loved or accepted or cherished, but today I really want you to feel valued through this journey and this path and through these conversations that we're having. So the reflection on this is, who do I serve through my work? How am I making that connection? Who is my community? And what problems do I really solve? What kind of impact do you really want to leave behind? Once again, your legacy, your tradition. If people say your name, what are they saying? What are they talking about you? What is the impact you make? Momentum, the power of small aligned actions. Momentum is not intensity, it's consistency. Momentum comes from daily priorities, boundaries, focus, and recovery. Momentum requires rest, clarity, and repetition. So I think a lot of times we're diving full force into this, but we've really got to be consistent. This is January 2026. How many times Have you joined the gym in January and February, but by April, you're not even part of the gym anymore? Or maybe you're still a member, but you don't show up. Go to any gym in the United States right now, and it's going to be packed. Go back in March and April, half the people, maybe a quarter of the people are going to be there, right? Because we're not consistent. You've got to be consistent with who you are. You got to be consistent with your intention. You got to be consistent with your mission statement. Your mission statement is what's going to inspire you to get up every single morning to do the thing. The mission is like, this is why I'm getting up, is because I'm going to let people trust me today. I'm going to accomplish these things today with my intention. I want to feel love today. I want to feel courageous today, and I'm going to pass that on to our community. Imagine a community where everybody lived more intentionally, and we were all offering people love and acceptance and courage or bravery or kindness, that every interaction and every conversation was more intentional and more purposeful, and we were achieving our mission statement. You would be productive and you wouldn't be busy. What habit would increase your momentum? Maybe it is going to the gym. I can tell you one thing that will help you is sleep. Definitely sleep, focusing on your mission statement, focusing on your intention, maybe even writing them down. Put them where you can constantly be reminded of your intention and maybe even of your vision or a vision board in your mission statement. But it's really pausing before you react. We're giving a response, not a reaction. What boundaries protect my energy? What small changes start tomorrow? Now, when you think about boundaries, it's really going to be a great opportunity for you to live life even to a completely, totally different level. Daily reset. So every morning, get up and say, what matters to me the most? Who am I? Who do I want to be today? How do I describe myself? Am I courageous today? Am I loving today? Am I kind? Am I gentle? Am I empathetic? Am I empowering? Give yourself this positive intention that you want to feel, that you want to hear, and that you want to see. And you're going to give that to our community. So who do I need to be today? And what will I do even if I don't feel like it? Every day we have to do things we don't want to do. I'm building this labyrinth on my property, and I'm building it out of rocks that I find on the property. So every day I got to pick up rocks and move rocks, pick up rocks and move rocks. And rocks are heavy, and it's not fun. The rocks just aren't going to tumble over and build this amazing thing for me to walk through and other people to walk through. It's just not going to happen. Rocks are not going to move themselves. Every day in your life, you have to do the things you don't want to do in order to become the person you want to become. You can't be lazy and you can't be busy. You've got to be productive. So what are you postponing? What thoughts, feelings, and emotions are you avoiding today? There's something that you're avoiding. And of course, it's your fear. Your fear is your number one factor. The fear is what's stopping you from living your life to the fullest. And what do I need to be to earn my own respect? Validate your own self. Respect yourself. Maybe clean a room today. Maybe do something productive around your house where you feel accomplished. Do something at work where you feel accomplished. Clean your desk. Do something immediately you see a return on your time, money, energy, and effort. Maybe a simple act of kindness that you're going to offer something to somebody today. But how are you going to earn your own respect? Do something for yourself and then something for others. And what will your future me thank you for? For showing up today, for getting a good night's rest, maybe for some yoga, some mindfulness, some Tai Chi, some type of exercise, some type of movement that served you. Maybe it was the thank you. Maybe it was the high five or the hug or the handshake, whatever it is. The connection that you made today, the kind email, to stop and just really stop and give somebody the opportunity to be disconnected. You're not on your phone and you're looking them in the eye. What is it you can do for yourself and our community? So boundaries create freedom. Boundaries are not selfish. They protect what matters. Example, I don't take calls during my deep work block. I respond to email at scheduled times. I don't say yes immediately. Every time you say yes to something misaligned, you say no to your mission. This is imperative. If it doesn't serve your mission statement, you don't do it. If it doesn't serve your intention, you don't do it. Those are the only things you do. And I know it's going to be challenging to tell people no. But just like there's one door into this wellness center. Now imagine if I fill this space full of love and courage and bravery and acceptance and empathy and empowerment, all these positive things, and I shut the door and locked it in, and we encapsulated it into here. Think about the same thing about your mind, your mindset. You're bringing all of this in, right? All this productivity. And as soon as I open the door, what happens? It diffuses out. Some of it's going to come out, but also some things are going to come in. So with healthy boundaries, really what you're doing is you're the gatekeeper. You can control the door. You can control your mind. You're not going to allow anybody else to come into your life that's going to decay it or destroy it or antagonize it. You're going to set that boundary personally and professionally. You become the gatekeeper of your mind, your heart, and your soul in your life. So what boundary would protect you the most at work? Most importantly today, what boundary would protect my most important work? What is that going to be today? What is the most vital task you need to accomplish, and what boundary do you need to set in order to accomplish that? What do I say yes that I regret to later, right? And where do I need to practice a pause before yes? So many of us are like, oh, I want to do that thing. I want to people please. I gotta do this. I gotta help this person. I've got to do this, and then they regret it. They're like, man, I really shouldn't have said yes. I should have just paused before. So the final message, your work becomes meaningful when you become intentional. Your mission becomes clear when you choose your values, and your momentum becomes unstoppable when you commit to alignment. Busy is easy. Intentional is powerful. Be the producer of your life, not the victim of your schedule. The closing reflection. What is one intentional change you're going to make this week? Hopefully it's going to get up in the morning, you're going to breathe, you're going to have a general awareness, a body scan, you're going to set an intention of what you need, and you're going to think about what that feels like, looks like, and sounds like for you, and then you're going to provide that to others. Now, I know if you write it down, then hopefully you won't forget it or you put it on your calendar, because what happens is your life happens. Your life gets occupied with other thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And if you're not in this mindset of always living intentionally of like today's piece, and you're constantly remind yourself, by the time noon comes around, you have forgot your intention. By the time you get home, you're all scattered brain and you're lethargic and you're tired and you're worn out. But if you begin to revisit peace or trust or faith or hope or love, whatever it is you want to feel throughout the day, your life becomes even more productive. So it's imperative to think about maybe one intentional change you'll make is writing your mission statement, establishing your mission statement, daily writing down your intention and revisiting it every few hours throughout the day. What boundary will I practice for the next 7 days? What are you going to say yes to so you can say no to the toxicity and the drama? So what's your mission statement in one sentence? Thank you guys so much for joining me. I absolutely appreciate you. I value you. Hopefully you heard some value. You've seen some value and you felt some value in this message today. If there's anything I can do for you, feel free to call or text or shoot me an email. I'll talk to you soon.